What's up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel and a brand new episode of our MotoGP25 career mode. Today with episode 13, the Austrian Grand Prix. Our number 13, unlucky for some, but it is one of our lucky numbers. So hopefully the Austrian Grand Prix, home track for our manufacturer, KTM obviously, is going to be a good one, because we have kind of missed Parc Ferme lately, and ideally we really need to get ourselves back in there. So let's go down to the track and see how it goes.
Good morning to all you MotoGP fans. The famous Red Bull Ring Bull is watching over this circuit, which is about to be the stage for the Austrian Grand Prix. Just a few more moments and we'll switch to the starting straight for the Moto3 class race.
So here we are then down at the trackside. As we can see, variable weather conditions here in Austria, and it is cloudy in the skies, so rain could be on the way at this venue. We haven't had any rain all weekend, so it would be a mix-up to things, not having ridden any laps obviously in the wet, but we are going to be starting in the dry. As you can see, we're going from P8, so it's not too bad of a qualifying considering some of our last ones. Angel Piqueras obviously on pole position. The pace from him is always incredible on the Saturdays. David Munoz then up in second. He is kind of had a little bit of a resurgence in form here, and going to be interesting to see whether he can maintain that or not, because obviously he won the opening round of the season and then sort of dipped really in this career mode. We've not really kind of seen much of him, but he is going from the front row, and we are obviously down. It says P9 here, so not too sure actually, because I'm pretty sure the starting grid did say P8. I don't know, this screen sometimes is a little bit glitched. We did have it obviously in the German Grand Prix also, but anyway, let's go down to the grid then. Obviously Angel Piqueras then going from pole position will be looking to win the Grand Prix. Munoz in second. We've got the CF Moto bike there of Killes in third, and then we've got the usual MTA bikes, which are always pretty consistent at the front. We are in P9 then for this Grand Prix, and here we go then, lights out and away we go. No, we're actually in P8, never mind that, I can't even count, but here we go then. We've got a bike in the background. I think it's one of the snipers doing some interesting line. We're trying to go up the inside of some bikes here. We didn't get the best of starts. We don't usually get a good initial launch on this bike in this specific career mode, but we have got ourselves up into 5th position then from P8, which isn't too bad, as we're going to have a little look at Bettele, but it didn't quite work out, and we might even lose out to Furusato here. Not quite, as he doesn't quite get the exit there. So P5, not a bad initial sequence of corners there. We've got loads of riders with warnings and all sorts on the screen, so a little bit of a chaotic opening sequence a little bit further back, but towards the front here it's all been pretty clean. The top three, they're putting away a little bit on this initial lap, which is obviously concerning to us. It's a pattern that we've seen in this career mode so far, that if we lose touch with the AI, it is quite hard to kind of catch them up. So we really need to get ourselves together here. Bettele doing some peculiar things there, and losing a little bit of momentum and a little bit of a weird line through turn 7. So we close up to him a little bit here to try and get P4 in this Grand Prix. Obviously our main rival at the moment in the World Championship, Piqueras, still leading the way, and he is closing down significantly in the World Championship after Bruno, and we do get Bettele then, although we're going to run it a little bit wide into turn 10. He might come back up the inside, not quite. So we are going to round off this first lap then, half in where we started, so we're up into P4. Good first lap. We need these riders to kind of battle a little bit, I think, because the pace throughout the weekend has been incredibly close. I mean, it is a very kind of short track around here, so you kind of expect it, but the pace just throughout practice and qualifying was separated by thousandths of a second. So trying to overtake people might be a mission for some of these riders, because like I say, we are all really close, and we've got a little bit of a gap to try and claw back. We're going to try our best in some of these hard braking points, but obviously we don't really want to kind of overcook it and kind of lose touch even more so. And we've got this big kind of train behind us that one mistake, you never know, could be really costly. So we need to think about things. Obviously we've got Piqueras there, he's in our eyes. We are catching up slightly on this lap, at least from this camera, although we have made a bit of a mistake down the hill here, so we might have just kind of lost everything we kind of gained throughout that lap, and then we've done a little bit of a wide line here. So slightly scruffy towards the end, and the gap is gone up then to a second then to Kiles. So not ideal through lap 2 there, but it does look like the rain isn't something we're going to have to worry about in this Grand Prix. As we can see, the sun is starting to come out. That is going to warm up the tyres, obviously warm up the track surface, and let's just see if maybe that can give us a little bit of confidence, as Munoz looks like he's going for it at the front. Is he going to get the position? Not quite into the last corner there, but at least he is going for it, and we're seeing an attempt here at the front of some battling. We've got almost 3 abreast going into turn 1. That would have been good for us. Shame it didn't happen. We would have closed up significantly there, but we have got the gap down a little bit. It was a second. Obviously we've got 0.8 now, so a couple attempts here and there. We've still got the pressure from the Italian behind us. We keep seeing his helmet pop into screen, so kind of need to be wary about him, but we kind of need to also kind of just focus on our lines and try and maximize this little bit of clear space we have in front of us, and try and claw a little bit back in the brakes and set ourselves up, obviously, to have good exits. That's the more important thing too. You don't want to kind of rush it into the corner and then have a really sluggish exit down all these straights. But Piqueras then, he is still holding that lead, and he's having a pretty good lap here on lap 3 midway in this Grand Prix. We've made a little bit of a mess again into that tricky corner. Probably, for me, the hardest corner on the track, that specific one, dropping down the hill and the curve and everything. It's just a little bit of a nerve-wracking one for me as we look back then at David Munoz here from Piqueras with Kiles, and look at this, riding right up to the camera, pretty practically pushing Piqueras then into the penultimate corner. Surprised, to be fair, with the drive he got there, that he didn't kind of pull out and just kind of go for the move. But as you can see, the pace has gone up significantly then in that lap. As you saw from us, we were like 6-7 tenths up on the time, and we haven't caught up anything to these riders ahead. So the gap is the same as it was on the previous lap. I said the pace has gone up massively, and even so on this lap, we, as you can see, we're 10th up right now. So the pace is pretty high in this Grand Prix. The pressure is on. One mistake, like I say, is game over for us in terms of getting a podium in this Grand Prix, because we're still, obviously we're not in touch and distance of being able to overtake anybody whatsoever. But we've still got that like glimmer of hope, if we're this close, that if there's a battle, a mistake, slight weird line, any kind of collision or anything, that we will be able to then be close enough to be able to strike. So that's pretty much what we're hoping for here, although looking at things right now, Piqueras seems to be kind of marking his ground here and stretching them out just a little bit. Munoz is a little bit closer to Piqueras and what Kiles is to Munoz. Seems like Kiles maybe slightly losing pace throughout this lap with the front two there. Might fall into us a little bit more, hopefully, maybe by the end of this Grand Prix. But Munoz then has gone for it earlier than what we may have expected in this Grand Prix. So maybe he believes that he has the pace then to be able to stretch away here and not basically just get slipstreamed and re-overtook. Then is going to get a bit close into turn 1 with Kiles. Is he going to be able to get out the other side of both of them? Not any overtakes for him, unfortunately, but Piqueras then almost getting up the inside of Munoz, but Kiles had some great momentum there. I feel like he could have gone for it into turn 1 if he had just kind of braked out a little bit, but that little moment might have just given us that little extra glimmer of hope. As we can see from this camera angle, we are just a little bit closer now, coming into the hairpin, getting really close to the back of Kiles there. We might have actually kind of lost a bit of momentum because of how close we got, thinking we were going to run into him. But as you can see, we are actually kind of close enough to be able to say we can get slipstream now. Obviously, it's not going to be the best, but we're practically here now. We're knocking on the podium, and if we can just keep this pace up and just get close enough, although we're losing a little bit of ground again through that corner. This part, the end part of the track, is just not really my cup of tea, as we have a little bit of a little bit of a replay glitch there, but never mind that. But yeah, we've still got the pressure here from not so much Patele anymore. We've got the Team Asia bike right behind us, so we need to also be careful of him. Furusato, I believe it is, there on the Honda. So eyes on him behind us for this final lap. So it's not just eyes ahead if anything is to happen here on this last lap, because we've got the pressure from behind, and we can't really afford to be losing any more points, because it, as of right now anyway, it doesn't look like we're going to beat Vicaris, and it is going to be another race that we're going to lose out points, which is not good whatsoever. So we're kind of hoping that Kiles can get by, if anything, if we're not going to get on the podium. If Kiles can get by Vicaris, that would be ideal. We obviously have that little objective down in the bottom right there, the rivalry with Vicaris. Obviously we were beating him in terms of the points, but the challenge for this specific Grand Prix that we need to beat him, it's not looking ideal right now, as Munoz pops a little bit of a wheelie there coming onto the straight, but he does look like he is kind of safe enough. I mean, he's had a good pace since he's obviously took over the lead, and he's going to remain unchallenged then into this last sector, and surely, barring any mistake, he is going to be cooking here for Dynavolt. It's been a while since he's been at the front, but it looks like here today he might be back. So it's going to be well, like I said, we still got a couple corners, so let's not get too excited just yet about David Munoz, but he definitely looks like he is got this one sorted here. It looks like Vicaris might have a little bit of pressure from Kiles. Is he going to go for the move? He is kind of looking to the inside, not quite close enough, unfortunately. But David Munoz then coming into the last corner, and we can now celebrate the return of the Dynavolt rider. It's been a while since we've seen him be competitive, as he takes the win here in round 13 then in Austria. Vicaris in second and Kiles in third. We finish in fourth place. Tayo Furusato in fifth. Patele then in sixth. Our teammate, unfortunately, nowhere to be seen in the top 12. We kind of need him now, really, more than ever. We did get the fastest lap in that Grand Prix, albeit only by like 40 thousandths of a second, not even half a tenth. But yeah, we do kind of need Cormac a little bit now, I think. 8 points to Angel Vicaris, and with the form that he is showing, it is a little bit concerning. We've kind of still, you know, missing that Park Ferme feeling. We need to get back into it. We need to sort out our Saturdays more than anything. I feel like our race pace isn't too bad. It's just the qualifying. We're starting too far down, and it's not helping us out really whatsoever. In terms of Team World Championship, we got 33 points there. So yeah, we really do need Cormac to kind of get on with it here. And we've got what, I don't know, it's 22 rounds I think in the season, so still got plenty of races. There's still time for him to kind of do stuff. The bike is obviously getting better. We've got another rivalry here to choose, so we've got obviously development, rivalry, or prestige. We're just going to go with Vicaris because obviously that's our championship rival, so it just kind of makes sense. And in terms of development and things, I feel like we're doing a good enough job with these little briefings and just kind of talking to the team. So yeah, we're just going to go with Vicaris. Probably just going to go with Vicaris all the time whenever those come up now, because obviously at this point you would say he's pretty much our only rival. I mean, the gap is significant to, you know, third place. They would definitely need a bunch of DNFs from me and Vicaris, which we've not had yet, really. Especially us, we've been pretty much flawless on the Sundays. I'm not gonna lie, we crashed quite a bit in the practice and sometimes the qualifyings, but in the racing so far, we've been pretty good. We've not really kind of took any crazy risks. In terms of social media, Kelso here, he says it wasn't a good race, so oh well, that's a shame for him. And Pini is talking about Blue Crew Yamaha Moto 2, which is a rumor going around the paddock that we're going to be going to that team in Moto 2, which is interesting. We have to see. Nothing is confirmed, nothing signed, but I don't think that is a team really that could make me become a Moto2 star and world champion. But that is it for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you with the next one at the brand new track in Hungary for the Balaton track, which is an interesting one to say the least. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe for more content as always, and I'll see you then very soon.